Correct. We are now live, by the way, as well. That's my guest question there. I just came on the air. This is the Edward Fowler Show, coming to you live at a different time slot tonight. Usually I do this about 1 p.m. Eastern, but tonight, for special reasons only, I thought I'd do it at a later time for my guest here today. It's quite a big guest, I have to say. You know, he's a hilarious character, one of the funny men. He's been in a lot of different TV shows and films over the past 20 years or so. He's Adrian Martinez. At the moment, you can catch him every Wednesday night on Alibi at 9 p.m. here in the UK in a TV show called Stumptown, which has been renewed for season 2 as well, which we can't wait for, by the way. I love the characters in Stumptown as well, and here he is in the flesh for you virtually over the internet, wherever he is today. Welcome along to the show. How are you doing? And I think he just froze on us. No, he hasn't.
It works all the time. It works all the time.
Oh my word! You had me then. You had me because it's like you froze, but
yes.
Look, you haven't.
It was a little cruel, Edward, but I still enjoyed it.
Yes, indeed. So how are you doing, and where are you joining us from this evening?
I'm in New York City.
Oh, New Yorker. Well, that's twice in 2 days. We had a New Yorker on. This is great.
Upper West Side, and having the best time doing absolutely nothing during this ridiculous pandemic.
Yeah. Well, we hope you found some positive through this pandemic, as you know it's hit everybody really hard, and especially for you guys, you know, because you guys, because we rely on you guys to bring us entertainment, and in the moment. But the past few months, it's been quite hard for any TV shows to do any filming, hasn't it, really?
Correct. Whereas Stumptown is presently on sort of like a pause while the situation gets better in California. But I'm optimistic that we'll start filming soon.
Yeah, I hope so. Because it was announced, wasn't it, back a few months ago, that it's been renewed for season 2. Which we can't wait for, and we do hope you'll be involved in season 2, as we do enjoy your character in it. And I want to know, firstly, what enticed you to join the cast? What was about your character and the actual show itself, which got you to say, you know what, I'm going to be involved in this program? It looks to be a pretty impressive script.
Yes, actually, what happened was I looked at all the offers on the table, and Stumptown was the only one. So it was very compelling. And so I decided to do it. But seriously, it really goes back to the creator of the show, Jason Richmond, who is a terrific guy. And Stumptown did not have my character, Tookie, in the original graphic novels by Greg Rucka.
Right.
But Jason thought it'd be a good idea to create a character that sort of fleshes out the city of Portland in a unique way. And when you look at Stumptown, I'm kind of like the comedic relief of the show.
Yes.
So that was very compelling because everybody's very cool and suave and kissing Kobe Smulders, and then I come in like a sort of like modern day clown and shake things up a bit. And that appeals to me. I love having fun. I love making people laugh. I love not taking myself too seriously. And, I mean, let's face it, this cast is amazing. So that was very compelling. Kobe Smulders, Cameron Manheim, Michael Ealy, Jake Johnson, Tantu Cardinal, Cole Sibis. Did I leave anybody out? Oh, yeah, me. So, it's a great cast, and I was really excited.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, your character, you know, you do get yourself into a bit of trouble, don't you, in this show, in a good way, kind of thing. You got to stir some trouble, like you know, because I watched because I'm unfortunately 2 weeks behind the episodes on Alibi. We got them on record, but not had a chance to watch them. But the one episode I did watch, I'll give you an example, was Dex and I can't remember the guy who owns the bar, but they went to Los Angeles to buy a car, and you're in charge with Cole, and you decide to throw a party, didn't you, for the detective of the show?
Yeah, Tookie is very, very ambitious.
He is.
You know, he, he's basically he runs a food truck, but he really sees himself as a Michelin winning cook, and he's got very big
Mm.
ambition, and so he saw an opportunity. But I think he meant well. I think he meant well, and I think he really felt that this would help the Bad Alibi have more business. So I don't think it was malicious. I just feel like he saw an opportunity for everyone, not just himself, and he tried to take advantage of it.
Yes, yes. Well, he almost got into big trouble because a gun disappeared off the wall, and everyone thought that somebody stole it during the party. But in fact, it wasn't stolen at all. The owner decided to put it in the safe because he just knew that you would do
Right,
something like this and throw a party while he's out of town, which
right.
always happens.
Like we say here in the States, no balls, no glory. Can you say can you say glory in the UK?
I think we can, yes. We can say glory.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, we can. But I mean, you and Cole, the characters of you guys who play are good chemistry. You guys got chemistry and get on really well, and you guys have some good timing, some comic timing. And how did that all begin? Did that just happen the first time you guys hit it off, or did it take a few episodes to get the chemistry there, or how did that happen?
It was instantaneous. I mean, Cole Sivers is a terrific actor, and I consider him really the heart of the show. Um, he has a boundless spirit. He's a beautiful man, a human being, and once you start working with him, you understand what it is to be fully alive and fully human because he's completely in the moment, very generous as an actor. So if you can't work with Cole, then that means you're dead. Um, he's a terrific guy, and I pretty much right away I just connected with him. I feel like his big brother, and it's been an absolute pleasure working with him.
Absolutely, absolutely, and we hope we get to see more of you guys on screen in season 2 as well. Because it's gonna be epic. Whatever happens, whatever mischief you two get into, I'm sure it'd be great for the show. And Christine Bruno has got in contact with us here live on the YouTube chat, saying that classic
Hello,
A
Christine Bruno.
starting out with a joke with a love heart, and he's drinking a nice drink. Yeah, I've also got a drink as well with my own specialty cup there. You can see, Fowler Show cup.
It's soda.
You got soda. I got some Coca-Cola. Yeah, at 9 o'clock. Just to keep me awake, because again, this is a late show here in the UK at this time of night. So I've got to keep myself awake, don't I? So I'm having a glass of Coke
Yes.
would do the trick. Of course, when I got in
I've
contact.
been people asleep when I speak. So.
Hilarious. So this is a great comedy actor. And before we move on as well, if you have any questions for Adrian, then make sure you get him into us, because I'll ask him right here, right now, as we're speaking here live on YouTube. And I want to know what got you interested in the comedy side of acting then, and stand-up comedian in general. Was it just something you saw when you were a child and thought, I want to do this, it looks fun, or did you have someone else in your family?
Well, interestingly enough, I loved movies, and I was drawn to the dramas actually. Um, Actors like Gary Oldman, Anthony Hopkins, Raul Julia. These are wonderful actors. I was drawn to the dramatic work, but beyond that, I was also drawn to people like Charlie Chaplin, and Michael Keaton. I just did a movie called I, Gilbert, and Charlie Chaplin does a cameo in the movie. He's amazing, and I'm not kidding. So I was drawn to both, really. And to me, they're just flip sides of the same coin, drama and comedy. And you work, you don't know where your career is going to go. And I just started doing episodic roles and building a career. And then over the last 5 years, I got an opportunity to do some studio movies that were comedic. And that got me a lot of attention, just sort of being the sidekick to actors who were predominantly known for comedy. So one was Ben Stiller in The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, and Will Ferrell in Casa de Mi Padre, and Zach Galifianakis, and it's kind of a funny story, and Will Smith and Focus, and it just started building from there. But I don't really have a preference. I prefer employment, but I always do try to find the humor in whatever the role is, even if it's a dramatic role, because everything is just so damn serious. But you have to find the lightness and the comedic side of the character, because that gives him a three-dimensional aspect, which is critical.
Gotcha. And I think it's quite good to have a a lighting wall on the cast. When it's very dramatic, you say, it sometimes it's good to have a funny person on set to make it a bit more light-hearted and to bring the fans into it as well, I think. So it's good, and that's why it works perfectly in Stumptown, I think, as well, because of the dressmaker of it with Dex and Jake and Michael, who are in the show. Of course, who play Gray and Miles in the show, and then we have you and of course Cole involved as well with certain bits to break up the dramatic of the show, to have some light-hearted humor involved with it as well, which is quite good.
Yeah, one of my favorite quotes is from this director named Harold Clurman, who wrote that drama is difficult, so make people laugh, and while their mouths are open laughing, you pour the truth in of the dramatic situation. And that stayed with me, So in the best of circumstances, there should be humor to sort of lighten up the audience, and then you hit them with the more impactful drama, and that seems to combine nicely.
Yeah, it does. I have to agree from that quote and from that person, and I'm guessing that has stayed with you throughout your career in all these high-profile movies you've been involved with as well. And you were also in the new make of Lady and the Tramp, because when I got in contact with you on that same day, you received a nomination, didn't you? On the day I wrote to you, which is when you found out from your agent about my email. You were very happy to be on the show, and I have to say congratulations to you on the nomination as well. And tell us more about that, and when will you find out of the winners?
Well, first of all, thank you, because every time you email me, I get nominated for something. So let's just keep sending those emails.
I must be good luck to you, eh?
Absolutely. And they announced it's for the Imagen Awards, which is kind of like I would say the most prolific awards for Latino artists here in the States. It's a great honor. I'm very grateful to Imagen. As you know, it's really hard to get noticed when you're a Latino artist. We're often overlooked, but the Imagen Awards do their best to bring attention to the hard work and perseverance of Latino artists. They announced the winner in late September, and I'll keep you updated.
Yeah, please do. And of course, you can find him, and I'm sure he will share the results on his social media, so you can find him on your screen there at the Taste of Adrian on both Twitter and Instagram.
Yes, which got a lot of weird reaction when I announced my social, but it's just a taste. It's a sample of me, the way social media is. People's minds went down the gutter, but really, it's just a taste, a sample, a snippet of who I am. That's what social media is.
True.
That's the name.
True, and we do get a good snippet of you on social media. You've done some interesting videos on Instagram during the past few months as well, and you seem to have a lot of fun with those, and touring New York as well, which is quite cool. Yes. But tell us as well then about being involved with the new make of The Lady and the Tramp, and was there a particular scene you enjoyed being a part of in the new make of it for Disney?
Well, it was a big deal for me, because it gave me an opportunity to work with animals, to work with green screen to a great extent. I was filming, this is 2 years now ago, in Savannah, Georgia, in the summer. It was very hot and humid. They had me continuously with water bottles that I just kept drinking, and so it has its physical challenges because I had a big 1908 suit as I was chasing the animals, and it was interesting working with them because right behind the dogs, Monty, who played Tramp, and Rose, who played Lady, right behind there right behind me were their trainers, and so they would signal the animals on what to do: look left, look right, bark, and you have to just really be patient because they're animals, and you may get the results you want or you may not. So it was a great lesson in patience and in listening, and they did a great job to the point where I told the director, you can tell me what to do, just left, right, just jump here, and I'll do it. Just feed me well and pay me. But basically, it was a real cool project to work on.
That's good to hear. And I'm wondering how many takes it took to get the animals to go left to right, send them out of business.
Yeah,
It took a long time.
Sometimes 15, 20 takes, and sometimes it just didn't work out. So they would say, "Okay, bring in the ball," and the ball is this large silver sphere that represents what the dogs will be when the audience sees the movie, and that ball is sort of like a marker where the dog will be, and then they add on the computer graphics later.
Okay.
So I would have to do the scene just talking or chasing this large ball. We have to, of course, emote and react as if it's the actual dog. And so that was cool to do because it's something I hadn't done before. Except one time I was doing a movie where the star did not want to stay for my coverage. Oh. He just decided to,
ditch you,
get a Coke. So I had to do my scene talking to a large lighting pole. And that was it. I did all my dialogue looking at a pole, and someone put a little piece of masking tape on it, and that was my eye line. And I was just, that's it. You just talk to the pole, and that's it. So that was the closest thing I got to working with an inanimate object.
Wow. Well, we learned something new here on the Fowler show, and it's good to hear different experiences because it is something different. It's something different we don't get to hear about, from other actors and all that stuff as well. And working with some of these big actors, like from Will Ferrell to Bruce Willis as well, and Will Smith. What's been some of the advice you've heard from them, or even been told by themselves as well to you?
Well, each star has a different quality to him or her. For myself, what I took away from, say, Ben Stiller was his work ethic, because he not only starred in The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, but he also produced it and directed it. So he was there a good 16, 18 hours a day. And he never complained, and he was relentless. He worked really hard, and his work ethic was just off the chain. He was so committed. I remember he was able to just sort of give notes to his cinematographer and the crew, set up a shot, and then he would just kind of like be in the scene with me, cut, and then go back to the monitor and continue setting up the next scene or whatever it was. He was relentlessly hardworking, and I took away from him that to really work hard. And then someone like Will Smith, I mean, when we shot Focus, we were in Buenos Aires, and he was just a larger-than-life person. Like, he left his trailer, and there were like hundreds of Argentinians that would like try to get access to him, and he just enjoyed it all. Like, he was like one of those giant balloons in the Macy's Day Parade. I don't know, those big, large, but in a good way. He's grounded and he's real and he's kind, but he is a larger-than-life person with a larger-than-life personality. And what I took away from him was just really enjoy it. Really enjoy the work. Really enjoy whatever attention you get, because Why not? Why be miserable? So, each actor has taught me a different thing.
That's good. That's good to hear. And of course, Will Ferrell, he owns a public football club in America, doesn't he? The Los Angeles Football Club. I'm surprised you've not invested in any football leagues or soccer leagues or any sports leagues over there. Is that something you may do in the future? Maybe invest in something to see what happens. Give them, because I'd be interested to see you a part of a company. Because that'd be quite interesting to see, and how you would run it and all that business, and in a funny way, in a positive way as well. This is interesting. I know when you came to London to shoot Cop Out, I bet that was a different experience. Not Cop Out, was it? It was called what's that other film you mentioned before? Badass. That was it. Kick Ass. Not Badass. Kick Ass. It was a badass movie, however. Of course, but it had some comedy in it.
That's it. Yes, yeah. I enjoyed working in London. It's the crew was excellent. I mean, the crews in the States have nothing over the crews in the UK. I mean, very, very disciplined, hardworking crews. I enjoyed working with Matthew Vaughn, who directed in it. We shot all over London. I remember being in a couple shootouts and just being patient with the fact that whenever you use a weapon in a movie, you have to really be patient because they're going to bring out the weapons expert and do safety protocols and all this. And I remember the people of London being very, excited to see the work crew and open to what we were doing. I had a good time in London. I brought my daughter over to London, and we got a chance to sightsee. I love London. I would love to work there tomorrow, soon.
I can't believe it's been 10 years since that movie came out. So it's crazy to think that. And it's been a decade.
Yeah, but fortunately, my age range doesn't change.
No, you've not aged at all. In any of the pictures and scenes you've been in the movies I've seen, you've not aged at all. So whatever you drink or eat or whatever you might do, you haven't aged. So what is your secret to not aging?
Yeah, I just don't leave this room.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. It means you have your own green screen, and you imagine yourself that you are in London or in Portland, Oregon, with these famous actors. Of course, the reason why I love Stumptown so much is because I have family in Portland, Oregon. So even though I've never been to Portland, Oregon, I can now picture it because of the scenes of Stumptown. Even though most of the scenes are not actually are filmed in Portland, but because I'm guessing you go outside of Portland and other places as well, outside of Oregon. But it's nice to see the scenery and the atmosphere and some of the shops in Portland as well. Why do you think they picked Portland to set the show in? Because the last show, which was based in Portland, I think, was Grimm, which is another excellent show, which is a great show I used to enjoy as well. But why do you think they picked Portland out of all the great cities? I've never seen a show in Indiana before, or New Mexico, or even Texas, really. So they always choose Los Angeles, but not Stumptown. Portland.
Yeah, well, Stumptown is an acronym for Portland. So the graphic novels are set in Portland, and Greg Rucka, who wrote them, is from Portland.
Ah, cool.
So we shot the pilot there last year, and we did exteriors there. And I remember feeling very connected to the city. It's as if it's a very artsy sort of city, and it's a very grounded city. The bigger cities like New York or Los Angeles, you can sort of get lost. But Portland feels like a big, small town. And we had the best time filming there. So I'm glad they chose Portland as the backdrop. And hopefully, once this COVID thing is over, we'll be able to go back to Portland and shoot some more stuff there. I mean, I would love to do that.
Yeah, I would love to do. I would love to do that as well, and I would love to see what happens next with all the characters. That's what I want to know, and with the show we met before. I want to know as well, with all these movies and TV shows you've been in over the past, almost 20 years or so. Because you've been in SVU a little bit as well. and it's been amazing. You be a part of the Dick Wolf trilogy. A part of history. Of course, SVU is now the longest.
Say that again. The word Dick Wolf. Say that again.
Dick Wolf.
Perfect.
But I mean, you've been a part of you've been a part of the longest running Law and Order trilogy now, because I prefer the original Law and Order, but that's my opinion. But SVU, though, began in the same year I was born, so it's good that it's been on TV as long as I've been alive. So which of these TV shows and movies is some of your best? Then have you got a particular movie or TV show you've enjoyed being in the most so far, or have you preferred every single movie and TV show you've been in?
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen The Blacklist Redemption. Yeah. That was a spin of The Blacklist that I was a series regular in, and I had the best time working with Ryan Eggold and the crew there. But that one stays with me because that gave me an opportunity to be sort of like the mastermind, the computer whiz of the operation, and I had a chance to work with Famke Johnson, who's a terrifically wonderful lady. Oh my God. She just melts my heart. She's so sweet and real. And but also I enjoyed working on Flight of the Conchords. Those guys are completely insane. Jermaine Clement. I remember working on that episode and thinking that we were going to do what was scripted. What was I thinking? So I would say my dialogue, and they would start saying something completely different.
Oh, wow.
And there was no warning or anything. And I was just like, oh, okay. The car's going this way now. And but I'm very good at improvisation, so I just went with it, and I had the best time. And I'm glad to see Taika Waititi really take off from that group of guys from New Zealand and really become an A-list director and star. I hope to work with him
again soon, hopefully so. And how often have you actually had to go off script, as they say? Because on this show, I have no scripts. I can say whatever I like. I could just go off completely off script and ask you, what's your favourite city to go to, for example, right? Too. You can answer that question as well. But I mean, how often have you gone off script then in any of these shows, or is it very, very rare you've had that opportunity to go off script?
Well, in broadcast television, it's an uphill battle. It's scripted. It's gone through standards and practices. It's been pretty much nailed in. But I'm happy to report that the executive producers on this team, they understand how I work. They understand that my brain doesn't work like the others, and they're open to my suggestions all the time. Good. So something will be scripted, and then I'll say, what about if we... I think my character would say this. I think my character would say that.
Nice.
And if it's better or more organic to the scene, then they'll use it. And that takes a lot of... self-confidence by the producers and the writers to know that it's okay because it's all for one and one for all on this project. And we're all looking for inspiration and we're all looking for great ideas. So if an actor who's actually living and breathing in the role has an opportunity to come up with something inspired, then there's no reason not to use it.
True.
And I've been fortunate on Stumptown that they do that. It happens more in movies. For example, when I did the movie I Feel Pretty with Amy Schumer, there was a scene where I'm trying to encourage Amy to go out and take a chance. I don't want to reveal plot, but so I tell her, you're blonde, you're brave, and get out there. I forget what it was I said, but that was all ad-libbed in the moment. And they wound up using it, and it set her story. It started her narrative in the story, and in a good way. So I take pride in those moments.
Yeah, you should.
But it takes a director and a writer who is secure and not threatened by an actor's ideas to make that possible. And so I've been blessed in those occasions. Sometimes I've not been blessed. Sometimes they want it as scripted and just that's it.
Yeah.
Say what's written, get out. So you just do what they
Yeah.
want. But usually I get to improvise and have fun with it.
Now the thing is, if I was a director or producer of a show, and you gave me a suggestion of what you would like to say as your character, I would just let you do it because you've been in so many different shows and movies. You're an expert, and you've had plenty of experience. So I would say to you, you can say whatever you think because I believe in you, I trust you, and I know you wouldn't blow it up or anything like that.
You're making me cry, Edward.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I truly mean that, by the way, as well. And just to let you know, if you've not seen the Blacklist Redemption, it is available on Amazon Prime at the moment for about £1.89 on Amazon Prime right now. So if you've not seen it, check it out.
That's way too much. Sorry, Edward.
But I thought I'd just plug a movie you've been in. Of course, you worked with Bruce Willis twice, haven't you? And how was that? Able to work with Bruce Willis twice in two different movies. Was that meant to happen, or did it just happen that it was on the same movie you wanted to be a part of?
Yeah, it just happened that way. It just happened that way. He was very cool to me, and he's a huge star. He's a big action star, and but the thing about this, what I've noticed is the bigger the star, usually the more grounded and generous they are because they understand the situation the other actor's in. The other actor's trying to establish himself, is there for maybe a day or a few weeks, and they understand the price that we pay to be in this hallowed ground of a movie set or a television set. They understand how hard it is to get there.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And how many mountains you have to climb just to get a whiff of that air. And so I find like the bigger stars really get it, and they're very cool because they understand the price you paid. And then once you yell action, all that goes out the window. He's no longer Bruce Willis. He's the character he's playing, and I'm no longer Adrian Martinez. I'm the character, and we just do the work. But that's what it seems to be. Like Margot Robbie. Like you think of Margot Robbie, she's so gorgeous and glamorous and so gifted as an actor. But between takes, we were just making jokes, and she was just hysterical. And there was dialogue and focus that I improvised with no warning, and she just went right with it. No problem at all. And if she hadn't, then the funny things I had said in that movie wouldn't have made the final cut. But to her credit, she was able to be generous, let me say whatever crazy stuff I had in mind, and it stuck to the film.
That's good to hear. And I have to say as well, you've also been in GTA, haven't you? Grand Theft Auto as a character.
What's that?
You've been in a video game, haven't you? Grand Theft Auto. You did a voiceover work.
My God.
Now, not many people
yes.
knew that. I didn't know that until I did some research.
I didn't know it either.
Until I did some research on you, more in-depth research, and I came across that. It's like, wow, really? I got the game. I didn't realize that you were in the game. And, I bet that was pretty cool to be in a video game. Hear yourself in a video game, in a big franchise like GTA. How'd that all happen?
Yeah, I call that episode Paycheck. Because that's pretty much why I was there. But I did have fun. I did have fun. They put me in like this suit, with the balls on it. I think, a CGI suit or something, and they had me run around and say all this crazy stuff. The things you got to do to just keep the ball rolling. And at that point, that was what I had to do. And so that's the thing people should understand, is that an actor's career can take many different looks and appearances, and sometimes you just don't know the trajectory of the career. But the one thing you have to do, to anyone who wants to be in the arts, is persevere. And to me, that's the most important thing. Like, you just have to hang in there, or not, or just leave the business. But if you want a career in this business, you have to be willing to put in at least 10 years, and then pretty much gauge where you're at. and be honest with yourself. Like if things don't improve every 2 years, then it's time to step back and say, is this for me? Am I better off writing? Am I better off producing? Am I better off plumbing? You have to, otherwise the years go by quickly and you're in the same place. And then you have to say, well, what was this all about? Did I make the right decision? And then the tougher part is to really have fun with the process, to have fun with the jobs, because not every movie's a hit. Like the last movie I did with Bruce Willis went straight to video, man, and most people haven't seen it. But I had the best time hanging out with him, in Venice Beach in California, and just like, dude, this is Bruce Willis, and just like making jokes with him, and like that's what stays with me more than the movie itself.
Of course, yeah, because who gets to relax with Bruce Willis? Not many people can say that. I bet, kind of thing. I bet you had a blast. I bet you had a blast hanging out with him. Did you have a party? Did you throw a big party as well?
Well, there's a big party in my head, but other than that, no. But you just have to make the most
out of opportunities
of these moments and enjoy it for what it is, and let go of the results, because otherwise, it haunts you. It haunts you. Oh, I don't have an Oscar. Oh, I don't have this. Oh, this movie didn't do well at the box office. I can't go there. All I know is I've had the best time working with amazing talent, literally all over the world, and that's enough for me right now.
Is there a dream actor or actress you would love to work with and you've not had the chance to work with yet?
Edward Fowler. He's amazing. I don't know if you know his work. But this guy, he pretends to be like a talk show host, but really, so him, I would love to work with Anthony Hopkins, Silence of the Lamb 2 or something like that. I don't know. There's so many wonderful actors. I worked with Robert De Niro in a movie called Righteous Kill, but my scene got cut. So I would like to do it again.
That sucks.
And this time have the scene not cut, That'd be amazing.
Because I know, because I saw a picture of you and him on Instagram. You wishing him happy birthday. And I was wondering where that was. I think I know where it was now, on the set.
Yeah. Well, it was in that Eyes Wide Shut room, like where, I don't know if you saw that movie with Stanley Kubrick, like everyone's wearing robes and everything. No, it was actually Ben Stiller's 50th birthday party.
That's cool.
So, I had just worked with him on Walter Mitty, and I got invited to the party, and sure enough, every star was there. And if you look at the picture carefully, Judd Apatow was standing behind Mr. De Niro, and there were other stars there, and I was talking to Judd Apatow, and I was saying, "That's Robert De Niro over there." And I'm like, "Yeah, you want to meet him?" That's what Judd said. I'm like, "Yes, I would very much like to meet him." So Judd interrupted Robert De Niro, who was talking to Ben Stiller, and it was like surreal museum. And he said, "Bobby, this guy wants to say hi. His name's Adrian Martinez, and he's a really talented actor." And I was like, "Oh my god!" So De Niro's like eating something, and he's like, "Hey, how are you?" And I was like, "Mr. De Niro, I just want to thank you on behalf of my generation and every generation of actor for all your body of work and how inspired." And I just went on and on and on. And he's like, "Thanks." Like really casual about it. And then I asked for a photo, and I think he was in mid-bite, and that's when the person took the photo, unfortunately. But it's the only photo I have of myself with Mr. De Niro, and those are the moments that you just sort of stay in your heart, because it's not every day you meet your hero.
No, it's not every day you meet your hero, and hopefully you get to meet him again. Hopefully. Once it's all over, maybe you or somebody you may know can throw a big party, invite everybody around and have a catch up and see what's new.
Yes.
Because I know he's on a TV commercial over here, in a car commercial. So we get to see him pretty much every day on our TV screens, on adverts, of him coming out in these clothes, and they're saying no, not in De Niro as in you, the car. So quite a funny commercial kind of way. But yeah,
Yeah. And he's done so many iconic
he
portrayals,
has.
and that's the thing. When you start your career, you hope to do like one project that people will always remember long after you're dead. And I'm still pursuing that myself, but he has like at least 10 iconic roles that people will always remember, and that's pretty special.
It is, and I have to say as well. What is some of your goals then in the future? Then? Is it maybe to have a starring role maybe in your own movie or TV show maybe, or something which people, as you say, will remember you for years and years and years to come, even after you
Yes.
pass on. We can all remember. Hey, remember Adrian Martinez in this movie? That was friggin' hilarious, kind of thing as well. So.
Yes, well, I did direct a movie called I, Gilbert, and I'm very proud of it. I wrote, produced, starred, and directed in it. It's myself with Dasha Polanco, who you may know from Orange is the New Black. And it's a wonderful film. It's presently, right now, being pitched to different film festivals here in the States and also in Europe. It's been accepted to a few festivals, but I'm waiting for the right one to launch the premiere. So I'll keep you updated on that. But seeing that movie find an audience is very important to me. And I've also written other scripts that I'm right now trying to get the financing for and get off the ground. So the work never stops. So even though I'm in this sort of like COVID, hiatus right now, I still get up every day and I do the same thing. I follow up on leads to get my movie off the ground. I continue writing. I'm also working on a television show. So the work of an actor should always be more than just acting. It should always be really producing and writing, because today there are a lot of actors, but there are not a lot of great ideas. And so if anyone's interested in breaking into the business, it's really the great idea that will help you there. As a classic example is the lady who wrote Fleabag, whose name suddenly escapes me. You know Fleabag, right?
I have, yes, I've heard of it. I'm just going to find it for you. Hang on.
She won Emmys, and she's amazing. Anyway, this is a show that she wrote that came from her heart, and now she's an A-list star and Emmy winner because she's so amazing. But it all began with the written word from her brain. And that's something that we all have to keep in mind.
Was her name Phoebe Waller-Bridge?
Yeah, Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Just want to give a plug there in case you might see this and think, damn it, he didn't say my name. So
I love you, Phoebe. Call me.
But yeah, I want to give plugs to people who you mentioned. It's all good, because you might see these people in public soon, and you might think, why didn't you mention me on this international show? Kind of thing. So I don't want you to get into trouble or to everybody have you insulted by them or anything like that. So I got your back all the way here in Manchester, UK. But I mean, so when you're not busy producing or writing or acting, what other things are you interested to or in other projects in?
Well, I have a daughter. I spend my time with her hanging out. We take in the world. I live in New York, so we have great parks and museums and this and that. And I'm married, and I spend time with my wife, and so we just try to make the most of things. Quality time, balance in life is very important. And whenever I do anything, I'm always viewing it and experiencing it as an artist. So I take inspiration from just about everything. Like, for example, the stillness in a painting from Matisse. There's a museum called here, MoMA, Museum of Modern Art. And there's a Matisse painting called Dance. And I just love it because it really teaches you how to really be present in a still moment. And sometimes as an actor, that's what you're going to have to do. Like when the camera's on you and you're not saying anything, you're just listening. You still have to embody the role and be present and be interesting. And so I look to works of art for sort of as an example of how to do that when I'm acting.
Gotcha.
So everything feeds itself. Everything feeds everything else.
Yeah. great advice and great experience as well. You're giving us lots of useful information here on the show, and we appreciate it all. And it's going to be tricky for me to choose like a clip to share now on my social media this chat because all this great information you give us this evening. So it's going to be quite tricky for me to choose a particular clip now. It's harder for me, but I appreciate it from you with all this advice and everything like that. So. If you want, advice and any tips or anything like that, Adrian Martinez, I believe, is the best expert for that job. I think. I'm surprised you're not emotional. One of them speakers, kind of thing. I don't know the actual word for it, but I'm surprised you don't do any of them.
What do you mean?
Like a speaker, like for new actors when they get into the business and. Other actors who mainly like a recharge.
Yes, I get invited to be like a guest teacher in different schools in New York City or Los Angeles. And I go and I tell them what I know, and I try to be uplifting, but I also try to be real because it's a very difficult business. And you have to put in the time. I mean, unless you're related to someone really famous, you just have to put in the time, and nobody wants to hear that, but it's the truth. So I try to be real with actors whenever they ask for advice, because it's better to be grounded in the truth than to think that, well, if I just take this one scene study class, that's it, I'm ready. No, you're not going to be ready. And it's better to be ready before you start auditioning than to not be ready, and then you're awful at an audition, and the casting person's like, well, we're not going to bring her back or him back. It's really more important to understand the price of the ticket, do the work, get really prepared, put in the time, and then when you know in your bones you're ready, then start auditioning.
Interesting. Good advice here tonight on the Fowler Show. I have to say, it's a dream TV show you would like to be involved with, because I know there's a lot of TV shows which have been on for 10 years or less.
Too.
And is there any dream show you'd love to be in, like an episode or even a part of a series as well?
I'm looking forward to finishing Stumptown season 2.
Obviously, but that is the best show on ABC, I think, in the US, and over here on Alibi every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Watch it, please do.
Yes. It's interesting. When I think about television, I think about some of the writers, like Aaron Sorkin. Like, I would love to work with Aaron Sorkin. He's a wonderful writer. He did The West Wing, and just a brilliant man. Also, it'd be amazing to do, just so many shows. Like, I don't know if have you seen Evil?
No, I've not seen Evil, no.
Evil is here in the States on CBS. It just got picked up for season 2. It's really creepy, and it's really good. I would love to do that. And, of course, Jordan Peele. My God. I would do anything Jordan Peele. I mean, he's just a brilliant filmmaker and producer. I think of J.J. Abrams. J.J. Abrams produced a movie I did called Morning Glory with Rachel McAdams.
I've heard of Morning Glory. Don't know why. I just heard it. So it might be on over here. I might have flipped through and see Morning Glory on. I do flip through. I've got nothing else to do at the moment. So why not?
So when I think of TV, I think of the people who create the shows, and those are just a few of the names that I would love to work with.
And of course, you work with Dick Wolf as well, one of the best, I think, of the last 30 years. I think he's great.
Mr. is the king. Let's face it. This guy's printing money, and he deserves it because he came up with formulas that really compel an audience to want to watch. And I've done 3 episodes of the Law and Orders, and it's a really good show.
It is, and I bet when they replay him, because they always replay him over here, so he must get a lot of money from all these shows, and because of these reruns, because recently on CBS, Justice they're now showing season 1 of Law and Order again. They go way back to the beginning. This is great. So think about how much money you must get from every re-air of these shows, and plus there's new shows like FBI and as well all the Chicago shows like PD, Fire, Medic, whatever it might be called. All these other great shows he's invented in the last decade as well. So I'm sure you'd be earning a lot of money as well with all these reruns of the episodes you've been in with SVU and Stumptown and the other show you might be involved with, which gets shown over here as well, which is quite good. It gives you more airtime and gives you more exposure to a whole new audience who may never have heard of you until they see you on our screens for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, I can't complain. My mother says you can complain, but no one's going to listen to you.
That's true.
No, I can't complain.
But I mean, what's been like to work with these actors out of Stumptown? Because when first the episodes I saw, I really liked the episodes, and I really liked the characters of Dex and Gray and Miles. But then Miles just turned. He turned a bit dodgy. Like he was trying to get Jake into trouble. The actor Jake who plays Gray, and I thought he was gonna die when we were in that garage with him. With the drug deal kind of thing. I thought he was going to get killed in that scene, but luckily he didn't. But I mean, very dodgy character, I think. I can't trust him at all.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's like in real life. Is he the same? Is he a kind of, is he like in real life, or is that just his character, Miles?
It's interesting. Michael Ealy reminds me of Jazz. He's just smooth like Jazz. He's got a very genuine spirit. He's a good guy, and he's always been cool with me. I enjoyed working with him. I always manage to crack him up, which is fun.
Yes. I've seen that in the scenes, because there's a few scenes I've seen you guys in, and it looks like he's about to laugh, but he's trying to hold it in before he does. So I bet you find it very hard to work with you because of how funny you are. So
I do try to break them. All the actors, Kobe, Jake, I try to make them break a take and laugh.
How many successful times has it happened then with Michael and Kobe and Jake? Then how many times have you been successful?
I've had a percentage.
Okay.
I've had a percentage of time when I've been able to make them laugh
and get a week off.
I think it's important. I think it's important to break it up. It makes the day shorter. Just bringing some levity to it. And
Christine has summed it up with what I was trying to say earlier on. I couldn't think of the word. Thank you, Christine. She said motivational speaker. That was the word I was looking for, but I couldn't think of it. So thank you so much, Christine. She also said as well, she's very interested to know what your secret is, because you didn't really tell us. You just said you were in this room all the time. So if you could expand on that, or is it a secret?
On my what? My secret? For what?
Yeah, of staying young, of staying exactly the same as you were like 10 years ago.
Like I said, I never leave this room.
You can't tell us any more about it, can you?
Well, it's really genetics.
Yeah.
Like my mom, rest in peace. She was an amazing person. But she looked the same from the age of 30 to 68 when she passed on. So I don't know what to tell you. It's just one of those things. It's genetics. I always put on sunscreen before I leave the house, whether it's rainy or sunny. I always wear sunscreen.
But yeah.
I always wash my face before I go to bed. Just the basics. But really, most of it is genetics.
Funny. Apologies if you saw me react there. What was happened was due to my lights, and I got my windows wide open because it's quite hot over here in the UK this evening. We've got some moths. I don't know if you guys have moths in the US or not, but over here we have moths.
Yes, we have a few moths.
Okay, well they've come into my studio here, and so they're getting in my way with my lights. It's my lights which are causing them to fly in here, so I didn't know what was going to happen. I've lasted 58 minutes before that interruption, so apologies if you saw me freak out there. Thinking, well, what is it? I was going to say as well. Pardon?
Moths are good luck in the States.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm just reading him if I'm not missing anything out before we wrap this up. No, I'm not. I've mentioned everything here. Christina says, do the work with a fire emoji. So indeed, I agree with that. Because again, I can agree with what you said earlier on about that because, you know, I'm only a small person. I'm like the best kept secret on YouTube. So, because we only got a small audience here. But thanks to you, we might get some new viewers as well through this as well, which is great.
Well, whether we do or not, I'm grateful for having had this opportunity to talk to you. Edward.
Yeah, well, I do hope it's been eventful hour for you because again, you've never heard of me before, and hopefully I'm not like any one of your best shows you've been a part of so far. Now, of course, the stream is a bit laggy at the moment because of more people are in the internet in my area. So apologies, it's a bit laggy at the moment. We are trying to fix it the best we can. So stay tuned for that as we are now wrapping this up. What would you say? Who would you recommend me to get in contact with next onto this show?
Does it have to be an actor or singer?
Anybody, absolutely. I'll tell you who we are in the past few weeks. We've had on a singer from Australia. We've had on a fellow actor called Reed Miller, who's been in a new indie movie with Mark Wahlberg, which is coming out in September of this year, apparently, called Good Joe Bow. And we've had on you as well, so that's recently. But we've had about 2 or 3 singers so far this year, and only 2 actors so far. But yeah, anybody else, it doesn't really matter, really.
Really, there's so many wonderful people that I know. It's hard to pinpoint. But John Leguizamo, I don't know if you know him.
I think I've heard of his name.
So he's a very prolific actor. He's worked in a ton of things. He's done his own Broadway shows.
Cool.
He'd be a good person to talk to because he's able to reinvent himself in different forums, and he creates his own material, which is what I've been talking about. I'd go for him, John Leguizamo. Okay,
well, thank you so much for the suggestion. I will try and get in contact with him if I can.
And I'll send him a text to let him know that
okay. Cool.
We'll be hearing from you.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much for that, Adrian, because sometimes it's hard to get in contact with people, you know, because sometimes you email people and then you don't hear nothing back, or you try to get in contact with them on social media and it doesn't work out sometimes because they don't see your message, but I really appreciate that from you, Adrian. I do hope as well that you've enjoyed yourself here on this show, and I do hope you will come back on again soon as well.
Absolutely, and I promise next time I'll wear pants.
Oh, you're not wearing any pants? I think you are wearing pants. I think you are. But you're not going to show us now. Not going to show us to show the proof that you're not wearing any pants here.
Edward, there just aren't enough mysteries in life anymore, so we'll just have to leave it at that.
Okay, well there you go. Adrian Martinez here on the Edward Fowler Show. I hope you enjoyed his company this evening.
I have. And I'll keep you updated with all my projects and look forward to speaking to you again.
Yes, please do. And make sure you do as well. Follow him on social media. His links are right there on Twitter and Instagram. Same links. Taste of Adrian. He keeps it nice and easy. Well, I like to confuse you with my own links because mine are different. Because I like to confuse people. My links are on your screen right now. Also in the description below. So you can check me out on my social medias. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video today. Make sure you share it to all your friends of Adrian Martinez was on this show. He's a great guy, cool, funny, and very entertaining. So please do share it with all your friends and tell them all about Adrian Martinez if you've never even heard of him. But I hope you have after tonight. And until the next episode drops, enjoy the rest of your Thursday evening.